we'll get things started since it's already we're starting late. All right.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sorry. I was on the phone too. I'm sorry.
oh, you're fine. I only just got here like 5 minutes before you did because I was running from the Washington County Fair and also
Oh,
streets.
that's right. It's fair weekend. Doggone it, I'm gonna miss that.
It is indeed. All right. Let's get this show on the road. Hello, guys, gals, non-binary married pals, and welcome to another episode of Mike's campaign of Sugoi sauce. It's funny how I just need to get that started, and it all just kind of happens automatically at this point. I am your host, Mike, the DM, and as always, we have Babbage, the gnome tinker, Jim. Somehow
Yeah.
Discord's decided to move people around, so we have the Blessed Bellarmine, Deacon Sylvia, our human knowledge cleric, Canadan Stormblessed, Zach. I just finished reading the first book of that series, so I suddenly have a far more understanding of how that character works. And you, Jeff, our furbolg
It's a
druid.
loose interpretation.
Yes. I don't remember how long it's been, but since we last saw our compatriots, they basically spent the entire last session trying to get through a door, if I recall correctly. There was this creature that was hanging out in the corner. Um, as a reminder, we're in this like back room of a library after you guys did some riddles and fought some animated books and used the riddles to or used the titles of books to answer the riddles, and there was a lot of them, and you finally got in the door, but then you found out there was another secret door through some magic that you may not have been able to use. So really, you just kind of were persuasive. Try to get a little bit of knowledge from this like spooky creature that then scurried off into a hole after people tried to take control of it, as I recall.
I was trying to
Um,
befriend him.
um, and then basically there's this secret door that's basically against the wall here that has successfully been opened after you guys finally figured out the mechanism and were able to physically use, I can't remember exactly what you guys did, but lifting this like, I don't know, several
Yes, how did you
thousand.
do that? That was after I had gone.
Water,
Um,
water, water, water. Freezing.
did we figure out we could do that with the magics we had? I don't remember. I genuinely don't
That
Something
remember.
was
was
With a divination spell. It
Yeah,
was
I do
just
recall if
scroll
you
up.
guys managed
We,
to open it. I just forgot
we
why.
we texted Zach. So let me scroll up in our text history.
Oh wait,
I
isn't
thought
it cone of rock or something? No, like
Wall
a
of
rock
stone.
column? Wall of stone.
Ah, yes, the wall of stone like propped it up basically. So that's right. There's a wall. There's literally like stone that's holding up other stone because it just sort of manifests or like comes up out of the ground. I think it specifically says. But anyway,
Yeah, it's evocation,
so we're
which is how it
good.
works.
Okay. Because it's where's where right? It's transmutation and conjuration that's um not
For whatever
allowed.
reason, not working.
Yes. Okay. Doink, and everybody's having fun with cones. All right, so yeah, you have successfully opened the door. So as I mean, some of you saw this when you melded through the stone before to try to see the other side of it. But it seems to be a very natural 10 foot tall, 10 foot tall, 10 foot wide sort of. I mean, it's not like a perfect square of a space, but it's like a natural looking tunnel that seems to go off into the distance and into the dark. As far as the light and as far as your vision can see, off into the east. And you are. What does the party do? Choose to do.
cast. Should I cast light so we can see?
That works just fine.
Sounds great.
I'm looking for my. Everything's all screwed up. Bear with me.
Oh, you're good. Light's a cantrip, isn't it? So yeah, you're fine.
Yeah,
I mean, we know
evocation
you
cantrip.
you now generate light 20 feet. I'm pretty confident I just have you emitted light right now anyway. So okay, so yeah, like I said, it's an earthen. It's not like manually carved. It looks like it's sort of just like almost a like it was maybe been burrowed out maybe by some large creatures a long time ago. Um, so, but it does seem to go off pretty far into the distance. So
All right, let me explore ahead. I'll stay quiet and head forward. So I'm gonna be like super stealthy.
the monk goes
And
super
wait,
stealthy.
I have that thing. Hang on. I have the dagger, the thieves' light dagger. Wait, where is that?
Oh, I forgot about that thing.
Oh, I didn't.
Good. There's a lot of stuff to track as the DM in my defense.
Oh yes.
Oh, Jim, could you make sure? I don't know. Of course, we're like 5 minutes in. Could you make sure the
I
audio
already
is
did.
working?
We're good.
Cool. Yay. All right.
Hey, my previous discussion didn't go out on the internet, did it?
No, 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 no.
No.
No, I went live like 10 seconds before I did my little spiel, so you're good.
All right. Good, good.
Okay, so while you're figuring that out, Zach.
Yeah, I can't even find out where it is. My items here.
It's all good.
I'll find it.
It's a spell that remind me what it did.
I believe it's like if I'm sneaking, I can see, but the people I'm sneaking around can't. If I remember correctly.
I do not remember this thing, but
I mean, just keep going, Mike.
yeah. So okay,
Things like that. Twice per day, the wielder can activate the weapon, causing area. Close it there.
you just linked it. There we go.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Twice per day, the wielder can activate the weapon, causing it to emit a bright light. When did I give this to you? I don't remember this thing at all. That is, I mean, that's really funny as the DM. I'm like, that's really cool. That was a clever idea. I'm like,
DM.
generally don't remember doing this. All good. I like it. How long does it last for?
As long as I want it to. So I dismiss it.
Can activate the limit. Yeah, sure.
It's one of the enchantments that you allowed us to take.
Oh, okay. That's why. All right. I thought it was a magical item I gave you. It was one of the enchant. Thank you. All right. That removes.
Is the screen blinking on purpose?
Nope. That's on you.
I'm afraid yes. That's maybe I need to refresh the browser. All right.
Oh,
So
if I do that.
you're good. We're a theater of the mind right now. Anyway, I don't have a specific map for this tunnel. So, yeah, you find yourself basically going. I mean, I don't know. What's actually? Let me ask this: how far are you willing to go down this tunnel before you stop, Zach?
Well, I would assume that the guys would be staying. Well, okay. Let's just do it this way. Everybody stay 30 feet back from. How are they going to see me? Okay,
You
what I'll
can
do
see
is
them because he's emitting
I
light.
can see them, no problem. Yeah. So I will like kind of go up 100 yards. If there's nothing to encounter, I'll go back, reveal myself, bring him forward. You know what I'm saying? So kind of in 100-yard increments, we'll keep moving through the tunnel. I'll scout ahead.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's not just like a super straight shot. It's like
No, it does tend to like bend and curve and actually go down a little bit. Did I ever?
I just want to confirm that everybody would like to come. We're going down this way. We may as well commit to moving down.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so in like 100-yard increments, I'll scout ahead, come back, grab them, move them forward.
Okay.
Until we encounter something. Until there's a change in the tunnel.
Got it. Okay. So, I mean, this goes on for a half hour.
A lot of deep walking there.
I assume you continue on. It's now, you keep going.
Every couple of minutes, I'm swatting at invisible spiders on me.
I mean, the tunnel seems to go like down, up a little bit, like gentle curves, gentle first, but like it seems to go pretty far. And then, so you like this goes on for like an hour.
Deep tunnel. Put this back.
Like an hour and a half now.
All right. At this point, I would definitely confer with my my colleagues here. All right, guys, listen. We've been doing this for an hour and a half, as per my internal clock, which is pretty darn good. We gonna commit to continuing forward? This is obviously heading somewhere because it was a secret door.
I would say so. How's the spider situation?
I don't think there's actually any spiders. I just am paranoid.
Well, remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
And I start swatting more spiders.
Speaking of spiders, I had a bunch of little flying ants all over my arm last night when I tried to sleep.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, thanks.
Unnerving. Yeah.
They must have been migrating.
All right, so you guys are conferring. Did I hear that right?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
just.
I'm ready, willing, and able.
In for a penny, in for a dragon. I say we should continue moving forward.
Then we do so.
Yes,
Okay.
forward.
Very good. All right, you continue down into the tunnel.
At some point, I'll probably stop them and just make sure we can maybe consider taking a rest.
Why don't we take a long rest?
I mean, it's
What time of day is it?
oh,
Submitted for your approval of the Midnight Society. I would like to not sleep in this tunnel.
Right, we'll check. We'll wait till the next intersection or change to assess
Okay.
our situation.
I want to say you guys have originally got into Stone Grove around like midday, and you've been running around a library. So I want to say it's probably around dinner time at this point. Like running around and exploring Stone Grove. Where is? Give me a second. Okay. So it gets to about a little over 2 hours that you've been walking into this tunnel, and again, it seems naturally burrowed. You occasionally get like a small tunnel you see breaks off, but it's like too small for any of you to fit into.
Even the tinker?
Even the tinker, no, like maybe like a mole or like a small rabbit or something like you do, but you don't see anything like. I mean, you do see the occasional bug that seems to scurry off into the dirt, but you think you're probably like 30, 40, like somewhere between 20 and 40 feet down, roughly, because the grade, like I said, hasn't been very much. But you've been going for a couple hours. But you do get cated in. You do round a point where you see that the earthen tunnel like seems to come to an abrupt stop, and you get to a point where it's actually like brickwork and stone.
It's a wall.
No, like the tunnel itself, like the ceiling, the walls, and the floor become stonework.
I see. I was like, oh shit, we just hit a wall. Okay.
It looks to me like there was a passageway between two buildings. We might be entering another building.
What's on the floor?
Stone,
How's the
like
floor look?
brick stone. I mean, it's like
Is it
it's like
graded
dusty
or
and
is it-
old.
Okay. Does it look like there's Does it look like it's a sewer? Basically, is what I'm asking.
No, it's
Is
not
it
wet.
A channel or drainage? Okay.
No. There doesn't seem to be any water down here.
Okay. So we must be approaching something different. So let's.
It appears to me we were in a building and we went into a tunnel. The tunnel was dirt, and now it's getting back to a building. It might be a passageway connecting two buildings.
A heck of a long
Right, we might be getting
passageway
close
to
to
connect two buildings.
Was that?
It's a heck of a long passageway just to connect two buildings. It's a lot of digging.
Yeah, but it might have been a reason behind it.
Yeah, an escape route.
No, I agree.
Oh.
I'm suggesting that there's a lot of effort. Must have a high need.
Yeah. Any footprints on the floor that we can see?
No, the dust doesn't look like it's been disturbed anytime recently. The air also does feel very stale down here.
So I say we move onward.
Let me consult my memory of the world and see if I can kind of get a sense of what direction we take. 2 hours, that's quite a long distance. I'm looking for the map. Somewhere here.
What's
Do
your
we have
dark?
an inkling of some directionality?
You have dark vision, yeah, Canadian,
I,
or I guess most everybody but Babbage, I think, does, yeah.
yeah, I have it.
Yep.
I have it.
I think I do.
Aren't I producing light?
And you are, yes, but their dark vision goes
Yes,
a
I
lot
do.
further. Okay, so as far as you can see, like where, like if you got all the way up to like where the stone turns to rock, like you see the stone passageway goes the entire distance you can see into the tunnel, and it's a straight shot.
Um,
I think we've
um,
hit some sort of terminal
Can I-
passage here.
do I know what direction we've been heading in? Can I use Dungeoneering or Direction Sense or any of the AD&D Core Rules 2.0 skills? What direction I'm heading in?
What would that be? You're right. I'm used to thinking like dungeon. You're right. Like, yeah, you're in my brains went to the same place. Do you have dungeon tools? That's a thing. Yeah. I mean, it's an intelligence roll for you. Yeah, just
I
roll
mean,
roughly.
I'm proficient in Navigator's tools. I don't have them on me.
Okay. Survival. Roll a survival with a DC of 12
Guidance.
with a D4.
Doesn't matter.
You've been generally moving. Hold on. South by southeast.
South by southeast.
Yes.
If my memory of the crescentile rules is accurate, that would point us in the direction of the bridge to Strongmont.
But we're in Stone Grove, right? That's where we started out.
Yes, we started in Stone Grove. We've been moving south by southeast for a couple hours now. Had a decent click. I'd say we're
Oops, that is
probably
not
fast
where I meant to put
approaching.
you.
Probably fast approaching the edge of the world. Frankly, this tunnel may terminate into a drop to the abyss below.
Well, I'll be sure not to dive over if I find it. This
Yes.
straight shot here
Let me just
feels like it's headed somewhere.
paint you a verbal picture that's very, very clear.
Would we be able to tell how far we've traveled? I mean, it must be traveled for a couple aisles at a moderate pace.
I mean, let's say 4 miles an hour, 2 hours, 8 miles.
Ding, 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 ding. Sorry.
Ding.
Had to be done.
Fall to death.
I've just lost my whole screen. Hang on.
All good. Yeah, I can see you're not in roll 20, so it happens.
So basically, if we keep going down this tunnel and we don't make any turns or start heading back upwards, I expect us to reach the edge of the world at some point in the near future.
So what would a tunnel to the edge of the world have? Why would you have any reason for a tunnel to the end of the world?
Well, perhaps when the tunnel was originally constructed, it went under the riverbed or under the bay all the way to Strongmont, but now that riverbed or bay is just a gap into the nothingness.
Okay. So then
Or was it constructed to go the opposite direction?
I don't understand. As far as I can tell, we're heading south by southeast.
But maybe it was constructed to go north by northeast originally, to go in the opposite direction.
What?
I mean, the tunnel doesn't move. Yeah, I'm confused by the logic.
North by northeast into the mountains?
No. Maybe the tunnel, what we're thinking is the exit was actually the entrance.
Oh, well, I mean, there's two ends to every tunnel. The beginning and the end is a matter of your perspective, but regardless, the directionality in which it traverses whether you start or end, the point is the south by southeast end of this tunnel, whether it's the beginning or the end, is likely a pit of nothingness to the ground below. So, I'm simply stating to be careful.
Roger that. I think we should continue moving along at the same pace that we have been.
Oh, for sure.
Let's go. And I continue.
It most assuredly leads to our certain death, but let's proceed.
Certain death is never certain.
It's an important caveat when dealing with the dungeon master. If there's a point where it will clearly be certain death, we stop.
Yeah, exactly. Unless Mike just wants to end this campaign.
The ground falls out from under you. You all fall to your deaths. Good night, internet.
Listen. It's a valid outcome to poor choices, and if that's the way we're gonna go out, that's the way we're gonna go out.
All right. So, Canaan, after about 75 feet, you realize of going through this stone section of the tunnel, you realize that at about another 75 feet through your vision, it turns back into dirt.
Ooh. Interesting. Okay. So I relay that information to the party. Now, my only thoughts are here. Do we have any way to go straight up?
Wait a minute. What was the distance you calculated on that?
75 feet?
What was the question again? Sorry.
Canaan just explained to me what you said to him.
The stone part of the tunnel is roughly 150 feet.
150 feet of stone, and now not stone.
Yes.
Could this be the bridge?
Are we in the bridge?
To be in the bridge? Do we have any way of traveling directly up or down? Well, up. Preferably up.
I can travel directly up, and I jump.
Through the stone.
The gnome hops.
Well, you didn't specify how far.
Fair point.
I'm very pleased with myself.
Hold on.
I wonder if we're actually in Strongmont, and the stone is the underside of Strongmont's foundation.
I would
venture a guess that would take longer for us to get that distance and would be more stone than we've traversed.
I concur. I think that
150 feet is hardly enough
for a castle.
distance to cover the entirety of Strongmont, the settlement. I think it's, given our options, I think it's more likely that we're in the basement of the foundation of the bridge.
I think that's pretty reasonable based on the amount of time that we've traveled and the
Time
directionality.
travel, direction we've gone, knowledge of the map. That's my guess. But let me think
If we have
on,
any way to check, we could.
let me think on how to move up.
Can the magic people do this?
Well, what is directly...
above us.
It's
Well,
all stone. It seems to be brickwork and basically your ceiling, walls, and floor.
Brickwork not carved out of stone.
Yes.
Huh.
Okay, so it's built masonry.
Yes.
What's the dimensions of the tunnel?
10 by 10.
10 by 10. How big is each stone?
A foot by half a foot brickwork.
12 by 6 bricks?
Yeah.
What type of mortar is used between them?
I don't know. The DM does not know masonry. I would die. Quality? Stuff.
Quality mortar. Is it porous? Is it a thick layer? Is it flaky? Is it moist?
No, it's a thick layer. It's not moist. It seems to be well crafted. High quality. I wouldn't know if there's something you're trying to figure out with this information.
Listen, you just give me the information. I'll worry about what to do with it.
Fair.
So I'd say we
Babbage-
keep walking.
Babbage sits in place Indian style. Excuse me, crisscross Indian style.
Crisscross apple.
Crisscross
style.
applesauce.
And,
Yeah.
Crisscross Indian style.
and begins contemplating the masonry, which means Jim's reading his character sheet.
Okay. What's everybody else doing while Babbage is suddenly very interested in the brickwork around you?
I've got my ear up to the walls to hear if I can hear any water rushing underneath.
I'm looking at the various or any possible fungi or lichen or anything that might be growing that would suggest either that there's water above us or that we're heading in deep subterranean, anything like that.
It's a very dry space, so there's not a lot of so no, you haven't seen any lichen, or like there was some like earlier in the tunnel, but not where you are now, and especially not around the masonry. I mean, seems to be like dust, but again, dry, stagnant air. You do not hear any Bellarmine. You do not hear any the sound of any kind of rushing water as you put your ear to the wall.
And then what I'll do is I'll confirm that everybody is going to be here for a few minutes, or for at least a little while, stay put, and I will range ahead a little bit further this time. You say, I don't know, I'll just go for 15 minutes in one direction.
Okay. As you head off on your own, like I said, you get to a point where it's back. The brickwork sort of seems to stop into the dirt again, and it's a very similar tunnel to what you were dealing with before. It seems to continue generally in the same direction. That does seem to. Hold on. I mean, after about 15 minutes, I mean, you're going about a mile. The tunnel does seem to turn to the left.
But I don't see any significant changes in the tunnel, correct?
No. I mean, the air does seem to get a little less. The air actually does seem to become less stagnant and a little more moisture. You actually do start to see lichen, a little bit of fungus as you're around the 15-minute point you've been gotten there.
Perfect. Okay, so then I'll head back.
All right, that'll take you a bit. All right, so.
Which spells are not working?
Transmutation and conjuration.
Yes.
Transmutation.
Sorry. Continue.
Yes, transmutation and conjuration.
I was going to cast mass healing word. It's an evocation on everyone.
That will not work.
How come?
Wait, is that not one of the two?
Evocation is fine.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. Yes, go ahead. Nope.
If we're not sleeping, at least maybe we can heal.
Yeah? No, that's a perfectly valid thing to do.
All right. +9 to everybody.
Hooray.
Where's my token?
Well, not...
Oh, it's here.
I'll say he did it.
Everybody who was around.
Yeah, I'll say he did it to Canadin before, although Canadin maybe...
Oh, right, sorry. No, you're
I'll
right.
say he did it before Canadin took off, just so you all get the benefit of the healing.
So, I have a crowbar on my person,
Yes.
and I have not only a construction rate of 70 an hour, but also the Instacraft feature, which allows me to construct a gold worth of something in an action.
Okay.
I'd like to construct a hammer, which is a 1 gold value item,
Sure.
and also a miner's pick, which is 2 gold.
Babbage and you see, or sorry, Bellarmine and you see the gnome tinkerer in a matter of 12 seconds, like. It's almost like there's like this cloud. You can think like not animate, like Looney
Like
Tunes.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah, like Charlie Brown cloud of just like activity with his hands whip, and suddenly there's a hammer and a chisel in 12 seconds.
Well, I have a hammer and a miner's pick and a
A
crowbar.
miner's pick, sorry.
And using the hammer, the miner's pick, and the crowbar,
Okay.
I'm going to pick a random brick on the wall to the. Let's see if we're heading this way, to the northeast,
Okay.
and begin attempting to extract one of the bricks.
All right. I mean, it takes you about, I don't know, a minute, but like with the tools and the hammering, and you manage to like crack through it and break. You manage to like wield, or I don't know, pry out one of the bricks. You're faced with like what looks to be like a second layer of brickwork.
Okay. I will use my mason's tools roll of 20 to continue.
Okay. Like what? When you say continue, you're trying to take like another or the same layer, or you're going like the bricks behind it, or are you trying to like, which direction are you trying to go? It's like one layer in front of you. There's another layer behind. You're just trying to go
I want to
through
like
the wall.
stair step up. If I encounter a layer behind, I want to go up 1 brick, in 1 brick.
Okay. I mean, they're not like, it's not like flush, so you'll have to like maybe take out like 4 bricks to get to the next brick.
Okay, whatever needs be.
Okay.
Kanan's gonna return to see basically that scene from Punisher. No, nobody saw it. Okay.
I did see the Punisher. I'm trying to remember.
He's like on the work crew and he just keeps hammering overnight. He keeps
Oh
working.
yeah.
Oh, I'm not recalling that scene. Anyway, so all right, you take out 4 bricks. You get 1. You find a 3rd layer. You take out like enough to be able to get to that 3rd layer, and as you start chipping away at the 3rd layer, you start like hearing the whistle of like wind coming through.
Ah,
Do you continue with this knowledge?
yes.
All right. So, and as you crack out that 3rd layer of brick, like sunlight starts shining in through. It's like kind of blinding because you were in a very dark hallway. Well, actually, no, Bellarmine's got light on, so you're fine. But you see, and then so as you break out the 3rd brick, you are looking out. Let's see. What would you actually be able to see? You can see, you're clearly looking out over what you see straight out from you about 50 feet from you. You can actually see the edge of a cliff that seems to be like moving east-west. Like you're staring at the wall of a cliff, and as you bend down, you can sort of think you see the top of the cliff. It seems to be what looks to be maybe like trees and grass popping up, and if you try to like look down, the cliff seems to go like as far down as you can see, and there's a pretty strong wind that's now like blowing into that hole that you've made in the tunnel.
So if I look up
Yep.
out the hole,
Yep.
is it a sheer wall upward? Or
Oh
what is the
no,
shape
you're
of-
right. There's about 15 feet, like basically almost in line with the ceiling of the tunnel you're in. It looks like there's another like 15 feet of brickwork that goes out over you.
So if it were shaped the same on the other wall, it would be kind of like a T, almost like the keel of an aircraft carrier,
Yes,
or the body, not the keel. But okay,
I know what you meant.
yeah, okay. Well, I certainly can't spelunk up that unless I make some more pitons and use my rope. Anybody feel like rock climbing?
Don't we have the ability to move through rock?
Short distance for a short time, and if you don't make it, if you don't know where you're going and you end inside rock, you take a bunch of damage and get shunted randomly out. So it's risky if you don't know how far to go. But that's part of what I wanted to do here was to see what we were dealing with.
What have you been doing this whole time?
Helping out Babbage, clearing away any rubble or whatever.
Okay.
Sorry, I just love the idea that this wild-eyed gnome starts rummaging in his bag, produces a demolition kit, and the firm block's just like, okay, I guess we're doing this now.
If we were underground in a natural environment, I could try to do druid stuff, but this is like a
totally on board with
hermetically
whatever.
sealed, like.
It's the idea I come up
I
with.
mean,
love
there's
it.
natural tunnels not far in either direction, but fair.
I love it.
Um,
Okay. So anyway, with
you know
what? I
what?
can
I
see
take-
poking my head out.
Let me see.
Oh, go ahead.
Actually, I know it dawns on me. Well, okay, so funny, not dawn, dusk. You can tell that it's almost. You also don't have a lot of sunlight left. Like looking out the window you've made. It appears to be like the sun seems to be going down, like behind you.
Can I surmise that we are clearly on the bridge that we were talking about?
You can surmise whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what to think. I just give you the information.
But like, you know, there's a cliff and then another cliff, and we're in a stonework span across both cliffs at about the location we would expect to be. I think it's a pretty safe bet.
The DM will not tell you what to think.
All right, that's fair.
At least I try not to tell you what your
No,
characters
that's
are
fine.
thinking.
I will wait until Candidan returns to inform him of what I have discovered through my painstaking blood, sweat, and tears.
Okay. Babbage, are you doing anything else? Or sorry, Bellarmine, are you doing anything else in this moment?
I'm going to cast Mass Healing Word once again.
Okay, this time I will say that Canadan's off, so he doesn't get this particular bit of
Fair.
healing. But Babbage, or actually no, all of you could use more hit points if my tokens are updating like they're supposed to be.
He's not here, huh?
No, he's been gone for about 15 minutes.
Shoot.
I mean, you can wait for him to come back if you want. You're allowed.
Yeah, let's do that so
Okay.
everybody gets it.
I mean, I imagine I'm going to assume he communicated what he was doing. Okay, so are you doing anything in the meantime besides casting Mass Healing Word?
Well, just looking out this hole that Babbage created,
Yep. Okay.
trying to surmise where it might be.
Well, like I said, like you look up, there seems to be another like 15 feet of stonework that's flat above you, and then like cuts up. There's a cliff that you can barely see now thanks to the sunlight. There's long, actually, the shadow. Oh, you know what, Babbage? I'll give you this. The shadow of the sun off to the west lets you see on like the wall of the cliff in front of you what looks like a shape of a bridge.
That is definitely
No.
something I would notice.
Yeah.
But
Like-
I also asked you where who is.
Who has departed due to DM fiat? I mean, anti-magic shield.
That who has to be conjured, and unfortunately, conjuration spells have been nullified at the moment.
And what
Yeah,
for an
about
undetermined amount
what
of
about
time.
Paladin?
Same
story.
answer.
Yeah, same issue. They're both conjured, so they can't be. They cannot be manifested into existence at this moment.
I thought Paladin was constructed.
He is, but mechanically, he's done so using the Find Familiar spell, which is a conjuration spell.
So that's
The
just
fact that he's
unfortunate.
constructed is just a flavor because I'm a tinkerer.
All right, so I'll assume the characters are actually having this discussion in character, and after about a half an hour of being gone, Canadan arrives back, Kanadin, you notice that there's, as you're rounding sort of a corner, not only is the... Actually, no, by the time you get back, the sun would be down, so you wouldn't even be able to see the light coming through the hole at this point. But yeah, you show up and there's a bunch of dirt on the ground and a bunch of stones. But yeah, you can definitely hear the winds. The wind that's like whipping into the hole.
Uh-oh. Bang, bang, banjo.
Yeah, Zach, your connection's somehow gone. Unfortunately sad.
Alright.
As I
Yes.
look out through the hole, I'm also I'm wondering where the retainers are.
I hear you.
But just at this moment, they get conjured into existence, but a la Wile E. Coyote, they notice there's nothing below their feet, and they fall to their death.
They fall into the abyss. The man conjured. The man ponders. Very good. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, Kanadin, can you hear us? Zach?
Trying.
He just texted. I can hear and see you.
Oh, okay. Well, for the purposes of you, Zach, yeah, you find, as I'm sure you've been paying attention, you find this hole that Babbage has created in the wall that's like 3 feet thick. So yeah, that's where you are. The group stands around in awkward silence with the wind.
Well, we're all waiting for Zach, who can't
Zach,
communicate
yeah.
right now.
Oh,
so
fair.
he's typing in game.
Aha. Okay. Phone got
Real hot and shut down.
Oh, has he been? Oh, I didn't realize he wasn't going through a lap. Does he always play on his phone when he's at work?
He's always on Discord on his phone because I think he has the same laptop that I have, and they don't have built-in webcams.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Well, that stinks. Okay. That's gonna be a minute.
When you cram that much into this machine, something's got to give. And let's face it, we've all got external webcams these days.
Yeah,
Not
unfortunately.
right now I'm running off of one laptop with internal everything.
No, that's that's what I was doing for a long time too. The webcam I'm running on right now is really janky. Okay. Well, team, since Zach's
I've got 2.
video is since we're having
Is he back with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So can I?
If you have to go just audio, Zach,
That might be
Just save
advisable
your
at
phone.
this time, just for
That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah,
phone purposes.
it's all gravy.
it's all good. We can hear you clearly, so that works out. And you can see roll 20, so that's all that really matters.
I can.
And
I can
is
see
he
you guys too.
Is he physically
Oh.
in the room with us now?
You're all together. Yes, you can cast Healing Word a second time and heal everybody if that's what you're waiting on. You all get 12 more hit points.
Heck
Thank you. That
yeah.
is greatly appreciated.
Okay, so, alright, okay, now you're all together. Yeah, it's clear that the sun is down out your 6x12 window.
So if we surmise this is a bridge and we keep walking, we'll eventually get to the south east side of the bridge.
I do relay that I felt fresher air and that it was becoming damper. Seemed more lively at that other end of the tunnel.
How far did you go?
About 15 minutes down that way, not too far.
I see. Lively? What do you mean by lively? There's people in here?
Yeah, no, certainly not. Just lichen and moisture is available. So life
I
continues.
see. Sorry, I can't help but see just this goofy face right here.
Oh, I'm not looking at the same map you guys are. Hold on. Joys of a fun map. Okay.
The other one looks like an angry mouth,
Well, I think now that we have confirmed that we are in fact underneath the bridge to Strongmont,
I don't remember what those circles meant, but oh, now
I,
I.
s- I suppose we could continue forth to the point at which we're on the other side of the bridge. Based on the shadow I saw, this bridge is more than just a bridge. It seems rather a large structure. I'm hoping there's no patrols. I guess going under is probably safer. We should stay in the tunnel. Once we get far enough on the other side where we're no longer near the construction of the bridge, then perhaps we could look to our furry friend here. And I pat you on the. I'm trying to pat him on the back, but it's really his flank.
His hip, maybe?
Maybe he can help us. Maybe he can help us travel through the ground back to the surface.
Or maybe the tunnel leads all the way to Strongmont.
The Furblog does not respond.
Well,
If the tunnel leads all the way to Strongmont, my concern is that puts us in a predicament where our only means of egress could be into the belly of the beast. So I would rather approach Strongmont from a secure direction, with more information.
Well, I think first thing is we find out where this tunnel ends. Be rather stealthy about it.
Stealthy
guess-
is key.
If I had to guess, it would be also a hidden tunnel or a hidden door at this end. Otherwise, it would defeat the purpose of the tunnel.
Sure, but
So-
imagine a scenario where we discover said hidden door, spend several minutes trying to get through it, finally do get through it, just to learn that it opens to the bandit barracks.
Skyrim.
Yeah. It
You'd
is
have
a
the element of
possibility.
surprise.
We-
You
we
can
would
keep
certainly be
you can
surprised.
keep us quiet and stealthy.
Well, that's my hope, is while we traverse, we do not alert. Anyway,
I can take out quite a few before they even notice I'm there.
lead on, spelunkers.
and I
Oh,
urge my friends forward through the tunnel.
Okay.
and I would like to travel forward in the same fashion that we have been.
Have you all been
At least-
updating
at least
your?
after 15 minutes?
Have you all been updating your hit points?
Oh yeah, I was full after the first one.
I am still not, but I am doing much better now. Thank you very much.
You are full. Your
Thought it
character.
was.
Your character sheet says 65.
Yeah. I started the session with 57, so unless I missed something before that.
No, I believe you. I just, for whatever reason, my tokens aren't seeing that. It's obnoxious. Okay, you're at 60. What? All right, Babbage, what's your hit point at?
Max.
You're maxed out. Okay. Canadian.
59.
59. It's possible these tokens are. Okay. Bellarmine, do you know how many hit points you have?
Yeah, 9 plus 12 is 56. You know, with what I had before, 44, I think.
Wait, so you're at 56.
Now,
Okay. Like 9 plus 12 is 21. Okay.
9 plus 12 onto the 44.
Yes, got it. Okay. No, I just now I understand. Missed the number. Okay. All right. So you continue. You're all continuing down the tunnel. Is that accurate? With Canadian doing the scouty thing like he was doing before.
Yes.
Okay.
I would
Should
just
be
pull them along
dangerous.
for the first 15 minutes, though.
Yeah, DM's
Got
asking about hit
What
points.
have you,
Yes.
Mike? You've done something wrong.
What?
You've changed my character sheet's hit point max.
Oh crap.
I'll fix it, but and thank you, but no.
Wait, were you not? Wait. So what is your hit point max?
It's now correct. I just changed it to the correct number, but just a moment ago when I said what I said, it reflected a much higher number.
Yeah, my max is 62. I'm at 56.
Yes. Okay. You're 65 out of 65. Canadian, you're 59 out of 71, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Babbage, you should be 40 out of 40.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was weird. All right.
A moment ago, I was 65 out of 65.
Oh, that's weird. Huh? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. Nope. You go there. You. Okay. All right. So this continues on for. All right. So 15 minutes. Canadian stays with you because he recognizes the tunnel. Again, it is starting to slowly turn to the left. So then Canadian, after about 15 minutes, he gets to a point he doesn't think he recognizes, moves on forward. Like I said to him, you do notice that like you start to see some bit of lichen, and like some bit of like a little bit of more moisture in the room or in the space. So Canadian goes off again. You walk for another 15 minutes. So now it's been a half an hour since you left the stone part of the tunnel. No response from the party.
This is about when I'd want
keep
to
on
make
moving.
our way to the surface. Oh no,
I'm
sorry. That was my first plan. We are now trying to get to see where the tunnel ends.
I'm trying to keep within some kind of either visual or auditory range of Canadian and have pass without trace at the ready.
Okay. He's
Yeah, Pass Without Trace is a good spell to cast in this occasion.
Yeah.
I think Canaan's basically trying to stay around the edge of your dark vision. So he's far beyond the light that Bellarmine's emitting, but you can, and I think you're standing roughly 100 feet forward. Is that true, Canaan?
I did 100 yards at a time, but I mean, it really doesn't make.
Oh, well,
much
he's
difference.
all right. Then he's outside even what you can see. But okay. So I mean, you'll have to try to keep up with him, or at least coordinate better if he's trying to stay 300 feet from you, and you're trying to stay within 120 feet. So for now, I'll say he's out of your visible range. But occasionally he checks back with you. Okay. Nothing else heard from the group. Another 15 minutes goes by, so it's been about 45 minutes since you left the stone. Okay.
I mean, there's no change in our scenario or surroundings.
Yeah.
No, you've been just walking through this 10 foot by 10 foot sort of. I mean, it's more spherical than square, but you get the idea. Or cylindrical as you walk through. Canadin, you round another. There's a sharper bend in front of you about 50 feet. Do you continue on, or do you wait for the group?
I would probably go and like kind of peek around the bend, being as stealthy as possible before, but I wouldn't cross it.
Okay.
At least not without seeing what was there first.
Did your roll
I
20
had
change?
this. It did.
Okay. You notice that the tunnel at this point actually seems to start. Wait a minute. Hold on.
U is on this map too.
What?
Let's see. I see U on this map.
That doesn't make any sense.
He's right here.
What?
Mhm.
Do you see him there? Do you see two of him now?
Just one.
Okay, that makes no sense. Well, okay. For now, ignore that.
Okay. I can do that.
I don't. That's weird. I realize I am still limiting your vision, so give me a minute.
Mhm.
This will make a difference.
Uh-huh.
Do we see anything at all
Oh.
besides the map?
No, you two. I mean, you're all in the same tunnel you've been walking down for the last hour now. But I'm focused on. I don't have a map for you to be on for that. So that's all theater of the mind. Canadian, however, rounds a corner and sees what you now see. This part of the tunnel does seem to have a lot more moisture in it, and in fact, you think you spot a little bit of like some fungal growth over here, and here. Have you seen where
yeah.
I'm pinging?
I do.
All right. I may have to do this
Okay,
multiple
so
times.
before I go any further, I'm just gonna kind of chalk the wall right here.
Okay.
And with an arrow pointing back, just so I can find my way.
Got it. Okay.
And I'll basically I'll let me do this. I'll chalk myself. Anyway.
Oh yeah, just draw lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like that start. Okay.
Are you stopping and slowing down at this point, or?
Not really. I'm kind of marking the way that I came. Actually,
Okay.
no, maybe the other way. Maybe the other way. Maybe this way.
Got it.
And all right. Well, you know what? Ooh, that's different. Cool. Okay, I see that this is a loopy-de-loop.
Oh yes.
What did we get down there? Okay. And I mark all my ways, so I'm kind of marking it. What is this?
That appears to be. There's a whole lot of lichen around, and that appears to be a about 7 foot tall mushroom that is got a green top and hold on. Give me a second. Nope. Controls. Oh, good God, what did I do?
Trolls.
Sorry. Controls. Oh, good Lord. I just absolutely jacked up my Roll20 screen. Give me a second.
Ooh.
Okay. You zoom back in. There we go. Yeah, that appears to be a mushroom that's just 7 feet tall with a green cap and a yellow stem. That's
Wow.
in the middle of that like ring of lichen you see.
And he's the only one who can see all of this.
This is all happening to just Canadian, yes. I'm giving him a little bit more, depending on what he does next. I will update the rest of you.
Yeah. So basically, I'll kind of map out this whole area, just by making marks and stuff, and kind of knowing where this is. And I know that there's this way is the way forward. Can I see anything?
The tunnel seems to resume back to the like 10-foot cylindrical thing. Okay.
Okay.
Now that
We'll
you're
continue that way.
okay. With that.
So then from here, I'll just head back to the group.
Well, just as you get to the entrance of this space, they meet you there. I just need to get. Did that work? It did work. Give me a moment, all. Okay, you should all be in the northwest corner of the map you're in.
Yeah.
And Kanadin, you said you were going back to meet him, right?
Yep.
You can bring your token over to, yeah. Kanadin, meets you at the entrance.
Oh, hey, guys.
Hello.
Also, hey, just at a
Welcome back.
right-click your character, your token. You can open your character sheet. That's nifty.
It is
Did
nifty.
that by accident. But yes, so hey guys, come check this out. I found this glowy mushroom over here. I lead them to the glowy mushroom.
I kind of perk up a little bit at the sound of a glowy mushroom.
Okay, very good.
Does it resemble the same fungus that we saw in Strongmont? I mean, the other place?
Vaguely? Okay. So here becomes an interesting question. Jeff, are you moving your token?
Not yet,
Okay.
but yes, I am. Sorry, I was just reading a spell description.
Got it. Okay. I am having okay.
Um, you say vaguely. What is different about it?
It has. It just seems to be. I'm trying to remember how. It seems to be taller. Much more like straight. If you could both. Actually, let's see. Babbage, Bellarmine. Actually, no. All of you can make. Please make perception and investigation checks for me.
Guidance.
Say again, over.
So, Mike, just a.
I said, does it have feet?
What were you trying to say, Jeff?
With guidance, I have to technically cast it on each person as they're attempting it.
Oh,
So-
well, I mean, this is more of a. I'm gonna say you don't. We're not gonna. You're not doing it for. It's not an active thing. This is more of a one. I'm just curious what you guys notice. Okay, so. Bellarmine, you notice that this mushroom does seem to have lines on it that would indicate that it actually has appendages, like 2 that may be arms and 2 that may be legs.
Oh, heck. Get away from it!
And none of you. Okay. And as you notice that, actually, let's grab you. Okay. And all 3 of you, in your mind, hear. Oh, you know what? I didn't think to come up with a voice for this, so we're just going to do this old school. Hello, visitors.
Who said that?
That was far less ominous than I expected it to be.
And the appendages, like arms seem to like pop out from the mushroom, and like some legs seemed like the body seems to separate, and the thing turns around, and you can see a face. Do I have?
Oh, hey guys, I think the princess is in another castle.
It has no mouth. It has eyes and arms and legs, but you do seem to be, now that you're, like, looking at it and realizing you're having this conversation, like, that was heard in all of your heads, at the same time. You do notice that there's actually, like, around it, seems to be, like, a small amount of dust that's actually, like, coming off of it, and has percolated in the space around all of you.
No. We're standing in spores.
Is there a middle-aged man and a teenage girl hiding behind some cover somewhere?
No, I cannot say that. Well, not that you found. What brings strangers through the tunnel? You've walked a long way. It has been many moons. Actually, no.
I perk
do you
up when
know?
he says that.
How do you know how many?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, no, that wouldn't work. Many cycles have passed since any travelers have walked these tunnels.
The hoarfrost has thawed many times. Well, so do I speak back to it telepathically?
I don't know, do you? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, I guess I hear it in my head. I'm gonna try to respond in my head. So I think
Yep.
to it
Yep.
And I go on and on about everything that we've done, everything we've been, and everyone else just kind of sees me going like this.
No. Okay. So start saying something like.
Well, I'm not actually saying it. I'm thinking it.
Okay. So what are you thinking?
Oh, I'd start from the very beginning of our travels. Well, the thing is, we were on an airship and we were accosted by a group of bandits.
Bellarmine,
And-
you, and Canadin, you can all hear Babbage's voice in your heads.
Oh, wow. Well, you see, and I'm like, my face is just doing this. But you hear me start from the very beginning of our trip. We were on an airship and we were accosted by a bunch of bandits, and I think they were after the mana crystal, you see, but, etc.
So yeah, you all realize that Babbage is telling a story and he's not saying anything with his mouth. You're hearing this all in your heads. And the group apparently lets this go on for some time.
And then I met another gnome. Her name was Tig. I kind of like her, but I don't think she likes me very much. I think I saw her at Julie's place, which is a little disconcerting, but I'm kind of pretending I didn't see that.
Would I just kind of not even realize at first? Would it just kind of appear to me as he was just talking, but then it would take a minute, I would imagine? Wait.
Well, no, you would immediately
Go
notice
ahead.
that you're hearing it you would notice the difference between it coming in through your ear holes and the fact that it's just sort of
At one point,
the
we were all in a
words that are.
play. It was pretty great. I was quite the performer. I mean, I don't want to brag
that
or
point, I
nothing,
just
but
wanna
I
slap him on
definitely
the
put on the
chest.
best.
And say with my words.
Ow.
Whoa. Stop. What is that?
Oh,
How are you doing that? I say with my mouth.
Okay.
you all could hear that? How
Is
long
that
were you
what
gonna
work
let me
inside your
go?
mind?
I'm very embarrassed, and I'm gonna go sit in a corner over here.
I stand in front of the mushroom and start thinking to it. Basically, think of an entire treatise on underground plant life, and we're going back and forth on it.
Okay. Babbage, as you. Okay. Alright, so you're sitting in a corner. Alright, so you and the Myconid, or the mushroom person, I should say. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, okay. You roll me a. Roll me a nature check. And a history. Let's do both. And don't roll guidance, just roll straight.
I feel like the DM wants me to succeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. You've heard of these creatures before. They're called myconids. You know that they exist in colonies. They use spores to communicate within whenever you're within a certain distance of them, everybody around them can communicate telepathically. Like, you've heard stories of this before. You've never come across one before in your life, but you are aware that these things exist in the world. But yeah, they usually exist in underground colonies, and are very.
Would I know if their communication exists separate private channel for each sentient being around, or is it just like a normal mouth conversation but all in the head, where everyone can hear everyone else?
It's such that, like, I'll just make this easy on you all and on myself rather than try to dance around this. So anybody within 30 feet of one of these creatures can all communicate with each other telepathically. So Babbage, you actually don't hear what. You actually walked just far enough away that you no longer hear the mushroom person and you, or anybody really, talking in your head anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, does that
Well,
answer
then-
your question, Jeff?
It does. So then I ask him,
Fungal friend, it is such a chance meeting in parts such as this after a long tunnel sealed from the natural stone. What does the colony say about these passages?
These tunnels were used. We agreed to allow the surface dwellers to use our tunnels in emergencies only, as long as they left us alone.
And did they stay true to their word?
Until recently, yes.
And who sealed off this beautiful stone with the crumbled dust of the earth?
I don't follow the question.
Who put bricks over stone or whatever it was? Like, who actually built that part of the tunnel?
Oh, humans in the large building on the far side of the colony, and he kind of points down the tunnel you guys have not gone down. And he also introduces
No,
himself.
they. Oh,
He introduces himself as where's there we go. Gable Core.
I announced to Gable Core that. Sorry, it's been a long day, so I can't think of this thing on the fly, but my true name, it's not just you, but it's, it'd kind of be like Chewbacca if he learned to speak English and then asks you to pronounce his real name in Wookiee.
I gotcha. I mean, in your head, you say it perfectly back. He's, it's very slow and methodical, but he seems to say your true name back to you like perfectly.
This is like that scene out of the Two Towers with the Entmoot.
Yeah, kind of. It's not that slow, but yes. You do not appear like the others who have trampled on our ground most recently. What brings you into the tunnel?
And with that, I motion over to Babbage and I say aloud,
Babbage, your many thoughts are needed.
I'm sorry. I
and
saunter
I say to him, knowing that Babbage is in range now,
My domain is that of the natural world. Babbage understands the intricate abstractions. I don't even know how I learned that phrase, but yes, he can explain very well.
Well, basically, data dump everything we know about the Mythals and the Mana Mine and Revik and the Bandits and the Blood Magic and Cognin and the Portals.
As far as you can tell from emotions on a mushroom person, he seems overwhelmed very quickly.
Yeah, that's about right.
And
But I
you're like,
end it with.
well, you don't get all the way through the story. Like, you may start talking about like mythals and things, and he just sort of like, he just sort of raises his hand to say, your story is many things. Perhaps you would be better served talking to our elder.
I was going to suggest that very same thing. It would be quite handy to have allies beneath the ground.
Please follow. And rather slowly, like at about like half the pace that you're all used to going, he starts moving his way. He doesn't go back to follow. He's just
It's side quest time.
walking along.
Let's
So-
go grind some faction rep.
So you walk for about another mile. In this case, it takes you about a half hour.
Jeez.
And then you get to here. And I bet all of your tokens are not updated with their vision anymore. Because I gotta go back.
No, I can see.
Oh, it did. Excellent. Okay.
I love the color scheme.
Yeah, at this point you see that there's a lot more mushrooms here. Oh, I forgot to bring. He's with you. So I mean this. Actually, I don't even know why. Give me a minute. Let's just. Nope. Well, that works too. Come here. Here, we'll just make this easy on myself. I don't know why I put walls up. So yeah, I mean now it's it becomes a much more winding tunnel, as opposed to something that seemed to be much more specifically moving you in a direction. This one's much more natural. Like I said, there's a lot more larger purple mushrooms, with a few others. Now you can walk through the walls now. Congratulations. But yeah, so you're all. I mean, he's moving you basically slowly through what is much more windy caves. I mean, it's basically just like a serpent-shaped thing. Just to give you guys a sense of clearly the environment's changing here. I will spare you the need to just move your. Nothing happens of any significance outside of just ooh, color change, and clearly the environment's different. It's a lot more humid. You see a lot more little critters moving around. Actually, as you walk through that spot, you see some spider webs above you, but they don't actually. Nothing. You actually think you see some giant spiders above you, but they don't seem to take notice and ignore you as you're walking through as a group.
I don't notice any of what you just said because I saw the spiders and I turned around.
Okay. Oh, fair. What are the rest
He
of
turned
you
around.
doing?
I just kind of grab him and pull him along.
Okay.
Come on. Won't hurt you.
Yeah. So
Question is:
the mushroom person is
Abelcore
not
with us?
He is. I just forgot to put his token on this map. So for the purposes of, I mean, we're not doing combat on this map, so I'm not gonna worry about it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, just to let you all know. Well, unless you piss off the spiders, in which case I'll bring them in. But so I mean, you were all with Cable Core. You got to about here. If you can see where I'm pinging, there's clearly some giant spiders in the ceiling.
We still only have a radius of vision.
See, okay, that's what I thought. That is not accurate. That's what I was scared of. Is that wasn't updated across tokens. Allow me to resolve that momentarily.
There we go.
Yeah, you're probably just gonna be able to see the whole map at this point.
I mean, I have a radius, but it goes out to here.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to keep doing that, but that's fine. So yeah, around here, there's clearly some giant spiders that seem to ignore you. Gable Core just walks past them. They don't seem to respond, but you can clearly see that they're in the ceiling. But if you stop and turn around, he's not waiting for you. He keeps moving.
All right. Well, fine.
How is he moving? Is he moving? Is he striding or
slow steps and snail's pace, according to what Mike was saying?
Yeah, he's striding at. I mean, you can imagine the Ents from Two Towers. That's the corner of the. He's striding, but because he's 7 feet tall, but it's still slow. He's moving slower than you guys normally would. He's moving at about 15, 20. Here, just because, for the sake of representation.
what time of day is it roughly? If we had to estimate,
You're getting into mid-evening because the sun set about an hour ago now. Yeah. I assume you're all staying with him?
yes, keeping pace.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so he ultimately gets around, wandering through. So you interacted with him, so hence why you don't have spiders to fight. And then. Let's see, how far can you all see? Okay. Fix all your vision again. You walk through about another, like, 15 minutes of, like, thin tunnel, and then you pop out here. Are you all seeing this?
This is
Ooh,
like
my.
Wow.
Super
Like a
Mario
whole-
RPG.
There's a whole civilization.
Yes.
Yes, we must befriend the Myconids.
So, Gable Core slowly moves along. I mean, there's a wide variety of mushrooms here, as opposed to the purple ones you saw before. There seem to be like small little. There's also some there's some blue mushrooms that actually eliminate some light, which should be like illuminating the space basically. And like even further on than what you guys can normally see. And then Gable Core, there actually seems to be like a grove of mushrooms in various different corners of the space. And Gable Core slowly works his way up to a more like wisely looking. Hold on, see if I can remember how to do this. So you can all see that.
No.
With his own little staff. Nobody's moving tokens. I just don't know if anybody's seeing this or not. I hope Tactical Nova.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, you see it.
What are we doing?
The mushroom person has escorted you for about 20 minutes.
Right. I got
into-
that, but I don't even know what my token is on the board.
Far left.
Bottom left. Well, kind of middle left. Give him the old shift click.
Are we supposed to move it somewhere?
Wherever you want.
Well, where is the guy that we're following, the mushroom guy?
Oh, he's up here.
All right, so we should be with him, right?
Yes.
Okay. Don't mind me, I'm a bit fried.
Oh, I understand. Candidate and you, I assume you're with the group.
Yeah, we're with them.
Alright, we're moving you all. I'm just gonna move you guys up to here then. Okay. So it's sort of interesting because as you're walking through, there's several of these creatures. I mean, there's also like smaller ones running around. Like they're not all like carbon copies. Like the map seems to make them think of it. Some of them come in different types, shapes, sizes. Like I said, there's some like blue luminescence that like actually like lights up the whole space. So you should be able to see most of this Bellar Mine. There seems to be different types of mushrooms that are collected in different like corners that aren't well represented on the map. The space is very humid. The air doesn't seem to be very. The air doesn't move really. It feels somewhat stagnant, but like as you walk into this space, it definitely seems to be like a heavy amount of humidity. There was in the last tunnel too, but it's significantly more here. And it's interesting because as you like walk through, there's also like just a mist of. It seems like just dust in the air. Babbage, you know that these are just spores that are like all
Hold on,
throughout the
I'm
space.
taking a phone call. I apologize.
Okay. So yeah, there's yes.
So as I'm walking, I'm very careful not to step on any fungi.
Okay, very good. There's plenty of space to move between them. It's not like there's like. I mean, there does seem to be a nice level layer of lichen across most of the space. It seems like the entire place is almost like carpeted, as you will. So
You said lichen.
Who said lichen?
You said lichen?
Yes.
A lichen is a fungi and algae in symbiosis, so that must mean there's standing water nearby.
You do notice that, yeah, there is in fact small puddles of what look to be water, and that's what these gray spots are. Some standing water. And like I
And
said,
he's
the whole
taking
space this whole space feels very humid.
And he's taking us to his leader.
Yes, he is in fact. Like I said, this mushroom with the staff seems to definitely stick out among the rest of the group. Try to imagine. Yeah, you don't actually know. I wouldn't say there isn't. Most of the actually like a few of the young, smaller mushroom people seem to like notice you, but no like thoughts enter your minds additional to, like no, you don't hear any additional voices in your head, if you will. Like some of the smaller ones seem to notice you, but most of the rest of the mushroom people seem to be just going about their business, seemingly mostly just tending to the other mushrooms, or just standing still. Really, they don't. There's not a lot. You can tell that some of them are mushroom people, and there's a little bit of movement, but not much. Okay. Wait for Jeff. Kaden, are you doing anything particular, or are you just following the group?
I'm following the group. Yeah,
Okay. Babbage?
I did my part at this point.
Well, I'm waiting for Jeff to come back.
Don't mind me. I'm a bit fried.
No, I understand.
I'm just kind of going with the flow here today.
That's fair.
I like to sketch the different myconids that I've seen into my sketchbook, a la Shalon.
I get that reference now. I don't know if you could claim to be that good, and there are no weird figures with bizarre faces that appear in your sketches.
Spoilers.
Oh, for anybody else, I guess. That doesn't tell anybody anything. Let me see. Let's see. All right. This is gonna throw off my. Oh, it just won't let me drag it. If you just Google myconid and then go to images, you get a sense of like the variety that you're seeing.
No. Jim knows what they look like. I just want to put some sketches in my sketchbook. Like I'm studying these people,
Okay.
but I don't want to be rude. But I also, I want to see if any of them have yellow exclamations over their heads. Need something? Need some help?
Yeah.
Want me to go kill some rats in your basement? What do you need?
Jeff, you're still muted. Are you back? I see your headphones are back on.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, that was a work call. So.
All good. No, I understand. They're like, why did you leave? All right, so Gablecor walks up to the elder, who clearly notices you and sort of stands. I mean, not really at attention, but more just like he definitely I mean, as much as you can tell from what little interaction you've seen with these creatures so far, this one seems to have a much more like regal air. There seems to be some like the one myconid sort of bows slightly to him as he walks up, and says, and really just points at you and goes, Elder Phylap, this creature is another member, fellow respecter of nature. These travelers do not have a many piece story, and they do not appear to be friends with the surface dwellers. And he points to the north, and he points out the one other exit to this place to the north. Sorry, Jeff, you were saying.
Oh, I was just gonna RP a little bit with his formal introduction.
Go ahead.
Yes, you hails from the clan of the circle of the stars, and it seems that your people do not know the starlight as you knows the starlight, but then you does not know the stone as you do, and yet here we are.
That's it.
We are less of stone than of the
Well,
wide
being man.
variety here you see before you. Some mushrooms serve as food, others can be used for shelter if necessary, others for curing, still others for learning. You are welcome here, as long as you cause no harm to our circles.
Well, you are just painful to talk to.
That thought transmits.
I raise one eyebrow as high as it can go and look right at.
Yeah, actually, a little bit of retcon. I just think to myself, but not realizing it's to everybody. Jeez, guy, speed it up already.
Yep, that's broadcast to the group.
Yeah.
Welcome to that scene from what is the animal Pixar movie?
Zootopia?
Yes, think of that scene from Zootopia with the sloth, the DMV.
Yeah.
You remind me of other students who used to wander these tunnels also.
Information. They've been around
Making-
since before it rose into the air.
Similar
So you're-
scratch work on.
So your circle has been present in these lands for a long time.
As far back as any of us can remember. No
Well-
other groves.
It's a bit of a subjective response. I don't know the lifespan of your average myconid. But suffice to say, if you're aware of students traversing the tunnels, then you were here back when this still functioned as a university. Which means you've been around a lot longer than I have, that's for sure. So, what can you tell us of the surface dwellers who are above us?
Many cycles ago, your surface kind stopped coming down to this space. Actually, no. Back that up. There was a time when the surface dwellers became violent creatures, unnatural, passing through our tunnels up to the surface through the north. Large surface dwelling that direction. And then all stopped until 2 cycles ago, more surface dwellers attacked colony. We have pushed them away, but they continue to forage or explore at our peril.
Excuse my ignorance, but you don't seem a warring nation of fungus. Exactly how did you manage to push them back? They're not to be trifled with from our experience.
We have ways of defending ourselves when necessary. You would know that they have ability to like pump out spores that like knock things unconscious.
Yes, they are not to be trifled with.
Maybe they could, perhaps we could align our. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank on. Align our intentions in the same direction.
Please say more.
Well, clearly, the surface dwellers who are currently residing above us pose a threat and a problem to your general well being and existence. We, too, would like to see them
Disappear.
brought to justice, removed from their presence, disappear, if you will. Thank you, Bellarmine. And if there's any way that your efforts and our efforts could be conjoined or intertwined, I think that could be to the mutual benefit of both of us.
You would help us by stopping surface creatures.
Well, one hand washes the other. We would help each other. I'm sure you could lend us perhaps the aid of your more seasoned defenders. Certainly having a companion or two with the ability to render our foes unconscious would make most of our job a lot easier. Also, I'd love to talk to you more about how your spores allow for telepathic communication. Is this something that we could perhaps bottle and reproduce at a later date? Could I collect your spores into a little pouch and utilize them?
I am laughing
Myself?
at this in character.
Oh,
Which is weird because you're getting it in, like, I don't know what's stereo but times 3, because like you're hearing him laugh, but you're also like hearing him laugh.
Sure.
Yes, you, like students before you, wish to communicate as we do.
Well, if I'm completely honest, the communication is nice and all, but if you've got a series of spores that, when ejected, render the inhaler of said spores unconscious, could you potentially produce a quantity of said spores that I could gather up and utilize myself at a later time?
You would you request that we defend ourselves against you.
Not against me so much as in a controlled environment where we could collect samples for future distribution.
You're met with silence.
It was just a thought. I mean, the answer can be no, but if the answer is yes, I'd be very interested to know more.
You are not the first curious one to ask such a thing.
I may not be the first, but I can tell you I'm the most capable.
That you like, he seems to turn to Gablecore. Bring the mushrooms from Morlob Circle for this surface dwellers curiosities. You see Gable Core wander off. I am uncertain if one of us could be helpful if outside our grove to dwell above the surface, but we can help with some of our growings. The mushrooms that Gable Core brings you will allow you to communicate as we do for a certain amount of time. With that, Gable Core comes up and brings you. He has like 4 picked, like brown, green, orange speckled mushrooms. They're about the size of a baseball. There's 4 of them. What?
Amanitas, full of psilocybin.
The knowledge cleric smacks them to the ground.
But so he explains, with these, if you tear the cap, spores like ours will allow you to mind speak as we do. No such similar mushrooms exist for our defense, I am afraid.
Okay. No such mushrooms exist for your defense, but when you defend yourself, you broadcast, if you will, spores out into the air. Is that accurate?
Yes.
So, theoretically speaking, if I were to collect the spores that you broadcast into the air,
Mm-hmm.
would I then be able to redistribute them elsewhere to the same effect?
Others have been unsuccessful at this endeavor.
Sure, yeah, other people are stupid. But theoretically, would it work?
With that, he gives you a shrug.
Would you be willing to allow me to test?
Again, he just kind of looks confused. You want us to defend ourselves against you.
I want to know if you're amenable to the idea of developing a experiment where by which you would then initiate your defense against a target of my choosing.
All 4 of you make Constitution saving throws.
I feel like you're not listening to me. If ever there were a time to crit.
Alright. So at that, you see him, like, sort of shudder for a second, and like a small cloud of spores comes out of him, and I'm confused. Okay. And both Zach and the deacon, hold on.
Because I was prepared for this and crit my Constitution save, I would like to attempt to, while there's still a cloud of spores in the air, take the bladder from my power airbag and try to fill it, like holding a plastic bag, like like you flip open a garbage bag. I
Okay.
want to kind of do that and try to capture a cloud of spores into the bladder and seal it off.
I mean, all right. Make an acrobatics, make an acrobatics check. Yeah, Zach and Bellarmine, you both just collapse unconscious on the floor. You sneezes.
Achoo!
Okay, you have a bag of air with other things in it.
I would have preferred a little more forewarning, but I can at least start testing with this once you tell me how to wake my companions up. And just so we're clear, in the future, please don't do that unless I specifically request it and give you this symbol. And I give him a thumbs up.
You see him like try to do that with his mushroom hand, and it's sort of like your ways are unusual, surface dweller.
Well, you don't have to do it back, but I appreciate your attempt at conveying your understanding.
Zach and Bellarmine, if you could roll another con save.
Can do.
I'd like to use the help action to try and wake up my companions.
Nope, they stay out. They are out cold, like unconscious. And no, help actions do not help with saves, but good thought.
Question.
Yep.
Something like that has a saving throw. Can
Okay.
you choose to fail it?
Yes.
Great.
You, what are you doing through this? You just watched two of your friends collapse, and and Babbage is like jumping through the air with a bag.
I don't know. I'm kind of in awe of having like almost no druidic interaction or peers of any kind to suddenly finding the mother lode.
I mean, nature and fungus are not exactly the same thing, but I see what you're saying.
I would say that one is precisely a subset of the other.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, and a large subset.
Absolutely right.
Fair.
Can I perform an insight check to see if I should be worried about my friends?
Yes. DC 5.
Can I use guidance? Oh,
No.
DC 5? No, it's like an automatic win. Oh, wow.
Not only do you, like, know that they're not funny, you think you're missing some sort of inside joke that's going on between the other two mushrooms.
I'm sorry, what? I think you misheard his request.
He was insiding to see if he thought that he should be concerned about his friends.
Oh.
And what I'm telling you is that he thinks that there may have been some inside joke that you're just not understanding between the two mushrooms about regarding the fact that there's now two of your friends unconscious. If you two could roll con saves again.
I don't understand. Does that mean they're okay? Like, how is that helpful information?
Zach, you wake up. Or you find yourself like coming to like on the ground. Bellarmine is still out cold.
What happened?
No, you didn't.
But
even
I believe our new companions were a tad overzealous.
Oh, some nap.
Yeah, you were out cold.
But Canaan, come here for a moment.
Yeah. I slowly climb
You're groggy, but you get up.
Wobble my way over.
Have a seat right here.
I do.
If you feel like you're getting sleepy, go ahead and allow yourself to succumb to its effects. And while he's mulling that statement over, I poof the spores into his face from my bladder.
Okay. Okay. Bellarmine, please roll another con save. All right, you also finally come to. Hold
And
on.
I hear the word bladder and I grumble a bit.
Oh, that's too funny. It's been okay. Yeah. That's well. All right. Zach, roll a con save.
So I think that if I were to roll, I wouldn't even expect an attack like this. So I would not
No, to
even
fail it on
have any
purpose.
sort of
Yeah.
resistance. Yeah, it would just be failed.
All right. So roll a con save. Yeah. No, you don't like. He just like. He basically just shot a bunch of dust in your face.
Why?
And I also don't feel the effects. Like, I'm sure some of it blew back onto me.
No.
I shake out my fur right next to Babbage.
No, it didn't blow back onto me, or no, I don't feel the
Roll a con save, Babbage. He's got a lot of fur. I'll let him.
Sorry, I'm confused what's happening.
Wet dog.
The
But
wet,
dry
the
dog.
wet. So okay, you fired the spew of spores
I don't
onto
think you had this spore in your bag.
Canadin. I'm not saying that those came back to you. However, the 7-foot-tall furblog decided to shake off a lot of these same spores on top of you, and you're now rolling a con save.
This is as yeah, let me see if I fail. So, if that fails, as I'm passing out, I say, "Still information."
Kerflap. Babbage. Yeah, no. So,
For science.
yeah, you're drawing a small crowd now. By the way. Like all of the mushroom people just sort of looking down, looking up, looking at you. Like you're clearly like the center. A lot of the smaller ones are just sort of like actually like come up and start poking Babbage. Now that he's unconscious. The nice thing is you all landed on like very. It's like when you came to, you realize like you didn't like smash your face into rock. Like it's all the whole place kind of just seems to be nicely carpeted with the lichens. So. Yeah, if anybody actually no, you never fell unconscious, so you haven't experienced that. This would almost remind you of home. But Babbage, roll another con save. Alright, so you fall like for science! And then after about 6 seconds, like huh! And you are back up.
Well, this is actually wonderful information. Alright. I'm gonna kind of forget everything that we're doing and spend the next several minutes constructing with my scrap materials a host of small airtight pouches.
You should probably include some sort of filter and suction device.
Okay. While you're doing that, the Elder Phylap beams into all of your brains. Our experience with students has led us to create a place for you to rest if you feel the need. If that is
The answer is yes.
very well.
Both Canadin and Zach would appreciate that.
Gable Core, if you could. And with that, he sort of motions to Gable Core, who then starts walking away, and brings the group over. Well, you see him walk over to here.
And we follow.
Well,
I groggily follow.
I don't think. I don't think Babbage has noticed he's even paying attention. To
Oh yeah. I guess can I nudge him and try to like wake him?
Well, he's in the middle of a project, so.
Oh, I thought he was passed out.
Yeah, I'm very much awake, but I'm very much fine.
Okay, I'm gonna go rest.
Okay, so he brings you to a space that it's. I mean, there's not. It's like this whole section here looks like it's like extra thick lichen, with like small little blue glowing mushrooms that are hanging off of the ceiling. I suppose I forgot to mention, like, the center of this cavern's like 30 feet up. You also did actually walk like downhill a bit while you were going through that purple tunnel. I forgot to mention. So you have gone deeper, but like now you're in a rather large cavern. But it doesn't like it's not like it's right underneath the surface. So yeah, but yeah, he brings you to what appears to be like a really nicely the lichen actually seems to have been almost like dyed a certain color, so that there's actually like rectangle sections of it that are roughly 6 feet long, and I don't know how wide's a twin bed. You get what I'm saying. So yeah, there's like a nice little place for you guys to basically just like bed down easily, and like you hear like, I mean, the noises are rather calming in the space. I mean, like I said, the place is humid. I mean, smell a lot of like fungus and a little bit of decay, but then like you get the occasional dripping of like water coming off of the ceiling into the bodies of water that I heard before. Small shuffling of the mushrooms going to and fro. So it's overall it's a fairly calming, relaxing experience. If muggy, because lying down on a really humid night's not fun. But yeah, the lichen bed is one of the nicest you've had in a while. It's certainly a heck of a lot nicer than your bedrolls that you've been sleeping on the last couple of nights. Jeff, are you doing anything specific?
How does it work with my recharging my spells if I can't actually see the stars?
You have your star map, so you still have like a spiritual connection to nature through. I mean, just because you're underground doesn't mean you can't like recharge your ability to do magic. So like the star map sort of acts as a focal point for you to allow you to concentrate and regain your spells, even if you don't have access to the night sky.
Okay.
Katydid, are you doing anything specifically, or just passing out?
I am passing out.
Okay, Bellarmine?
Yeah, both me and Bellarmine are passing out.
Very good. Okay, we can break here soon. Babbage.
After I make my handful of airtight containers,
Okay.
using a variety of the materials I have, from yeti hide to crocodile skin to spider silk to wax, etc., I will find some bedding and take a long rest.
Okay, so you're all... I'm putting you all... You see your complete... Nice try. So yeah, you all... I mean, you find your friends... two of them are already passed out. You see you studying a star chart. And you all feel very comfortable and safe in probably the muggiest and yet softest beds you've ever been on. And since our cleric is about to pass out...
Beds.
Yeah,
It's been the most active day I've had since the 31st. So
okay, we'll call it a night for now then. I hope you've all enjoyed the session, mostly just exploring an RP and moving around the world, or moving through the world. So with that, we'll say good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Couldn't see me.
Night, Internet.
Phone's not working.
No, it's all understandable. Yay, Monkey Deuteronomy said hi, and